Right, so hello everybody and welcome back to OFR Season 1 Division 1. Today we find ourselves in France for the 8th race of the season. There's 3 races left including this one. Next week we have Austria and the final race of the season will be at Silverstone in Britain. You've got Dr. Robot here and we've also got Havoc with us today. How are you doing, Havoc?
I'm doing great, Robot. We're at the Paul Ricard circuit today. How are you feeling? You think it's going to be an exciting race, or maybe one on the less exciting side?
Well, I think it's going to be very exciting for the viewers. I don't think it's going to be a pleasant race for the drivers. We've had drivers practicing here all week, every day, almost twice a day for most drivers, and this is going to be a track where setup is absolutely key. You need to have the correct wings around so many of these corners or you're going to spin, you're going to invalidate, you're going to cut corners, you're going to get penalties, and it's going to be absolutely crazy. So I think it's going to be great to watch, but difficult to drive.
I agree. And we're going to go back to last week, Robot. We missed a little info there. AJ Wynn actually locked down the championship last weekend in the Racing Point with the win that he had. I mean, just an amazing driver that they've got over there. I'm not sure if he's going to, go into next season in the same seat. We'll have to wait and see. But congrats to AJ for locking out the championship for the year.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe it. He did it with 3 races to go. He just has so many wins here. He has so many pole positions. And it's a shame that we missed it, unfortunately, but still, what an amazing achievement. And he is the current champion of the world in OFR. Congratulations to AJ.
Yeah, congrats, AJ. And then we've got the battle for second and third. We've got Young Stinson in second with 63 points and Yan in third with 61 points. We've also got Mats in fourth with 60, Maximus in fifth with 59. That's a tight battle. We could see a huge change in the standings today for second place. I mean, that's anybody's spot today.
Right? I mean, that's 4 points making up the battle for second place there, and all of these drivers are actually on the track today as well. So yeah, you're completely right. That is going to be a hell of a battle to watch. And with only 2 races left, they need to be getting as much points as possible here to try and claim that second place.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I just want to go back to AJ's card. We're going to take a look at some of the stats that AJ pulled off this season. 155 points with 3 races to go. He's got 6 podiums, 5 race wins, 4 pole positions, and you could not... I mean, his average qualifying is 1.8, and an average race finish, 1.7. That is an amazing stat card to carry into the end of the season.
I know, that is... I mean, just hearing you read it out there is absolutely insane. It's incredible. It almost seems incomprehensible too, sorry. I cannot believe he has won so many races and taken so many pole positions, and he's just... I think what he's done there is kind of got this consistency all the way through at the beginning, and that's given him a good platform to just pull away. Because I remember in Australia, he was actually second for most of the race, and when the safety car came in, he had an absolutely amazing start when he was chasing Castle, and he managed to just pull away from the first corner, and he won the race from there. Similar thing happened in Bahrain, in China. I don't think he actually had a bad race until Baku. That was when his steering wheel actually broke on him, and after the safety car, he went straight on into corner 1. You can see all of this in the promo video that we've just released too. He also had a tricky...
Yeah, it's an awesome video. I mean, you guys have to check it out. It's a great video. It's just been an amazing time for him. Maybe a little bit of a stress thing and a little bit of a newcomer thing coming into the beginning of the season that made him kind of make a little bit of those mistakes at the beginning of the season. But as the season has gone along, he's just come through and grown into being confident and consistent throughout all the laps. And I think we're going to be coming up to our first hot laps here, Robot. I'm going to let you go ahead and take it through for the first lap.
Yeah, so I think Like has actually just finished his first hot lap, and he set a 1:30.9. That's not a bad lap. Bagpuss has gone behind him on the soft tyres too, 2.9 seconds down the road. But I think he is starting a hot lap now because he does only have 40% of his ERS left, but he hasn't discharged that much. He's cut the corner slightly, but hasn't invalidated. But I'll stay on board with him and see how he gets on. So he is currently just coming up to turn 3, brakes a little bit early there. It's kind of hard to say if he is still on a hot lap because it doesn't look like he's got lots of speed, but we'll just stay with him and see. Coming around turn 5 there, turns in nice and early into turn 6, doesn't push the car as wide as he could. You can get a bit earlier on the throttle there and just let the car drift wide with an unlocked diff, but he's still got his ERS set to high, and he's only discharged about 33% of it. He's got 66 left. Let's check his braking point into turn 8. Again, a little bit early. We've got a yellow flag.
A little early, Robot.
Yeah, a little early. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1, but that's moved on now. I think that was just one of the Mercedes getting out of the way. But Tommy has gone 130.9 flat, and Atomic has pushed Leica down into third place, just 600ths down the road. I think Bagpuss is on a hot lap still. He's just coming around this really almost long hairpin at turn 11 now. Drops it down to third and upshifts a little bit late there. Let's see how he does through turn 12. One of the most trickiest corners on this track. You kind of want to get on the throttle nice and early, but the corner just closes itself the more you get around it. And if you do that, you will push yourself wide, so you need to be careful there. He's just coming around turn 14 now, and he's coming into the pits. He's coming into the pits, so that was his in lap.
So a bordered lap there. I think, maybe he was in 3. We're going to see a lot of different ERS strategies here, along with fuel strategies. We're not going to be able to see the fuel mix that the guys are running today, but we are going to be able to see the ERS stuff, especially in qualifying. I think it's a little harder to keep the car in a high ERS mode all the way around the track. You've got to turn it down to try to save some of it, because your deployment is going to run out. If you leave it in 4th, you're going to run out before you get to the start-finish line. So we're going to see some different things here as the track is so long.
Yep. So we've got a Castle spinning actually, as he's just gone through turn 12 there. He's come off the track. I think he was on a hot lap as well, because he's almost discharged all of his ERS there, and he's turned it all the way down now. So he's going to have to come in because those tyres are going to be overheated. It looks like we have a Force India about to cross the line. I'm going to jump up to see who it is. It's AJ. He's on a hot lap that he's got rid of actually. He's on the medium tyres, and he's gone 3/10 slower than pole position, but that is quite impressive, bearing in mind pole position currently started on softs. So what do you think the strategy is going to be here? It needs to be, I'm gonna put it 2 different ways. It needs to be a medium hard. The softs do not last that long at France, and they're not, if you want to go 2-stop, absolutely go with the softs, go soft medium medium, or a soft medium soft maybe. But if you want to go 1-stop, which I think some of the guys are going to try to do, it's going to be a medium hard. You have to get these tires to last. And that comes back to the fuel mix in the ERS mode. You're going to have to change it a lot more at Paul Ricard than any other track, because you have to make the tires last. So how long do you reckon these soft tires could last if someone did qualify on them?
If they qualify on the softs, it depends on the driver. If they take it really, really easy on the softs, I think it could go to 7 laps maybe. If you're in one of those positions where you're battling all the time and you're in the mix of the field, it's going to be like a 5-lap stop. So around 5 laps, we're going to see these guys coming in. Some of the other guys that know how to save their tires, and they're very good at it, we're going to see them go to lap 7. But other than that, I think we're going to see a mostly medium-hard setup for the rest of the guys.
I think you're right there, and as usual, all of the D2 drivers who are currently watching will be able to use this information to try and improve their strategy throughout the race. The only other thing is the chances of a safety car, I suppose, as Vilsek comes into the pits. He hasn't actually set time yet, and I think one of the Red Bulls follows him. I'm going to jump to Leica whilst I'm just going through this. So if a safety car comes out in the first lap, because the first corner is a really fast corner, it's not too long a run down there either, and it's going to be quite high speed, and as we saw in D3, we had lots of contact through there because people were a bit ambitious, and this could bring out a safety car. And I think for all those drivers who are starting on the soft tyres, I think the safety car is not going to be good for them, because they're going to have to...
It's not, but you got to think, Robot, we have a lot of runoff area as well. Is the runoff going to play a difference in when the safety car comes out, or if it doesn't come out? Are they going to just let the car come back on and try to re-enter the track, and do it in a safe manner, or are we going to get that safety car? It just depends. There's so much of a runoff here at Paul Ricard. You got to think, are we going to get the safety car because the car has spun, or are we not going to get it because the runoff is so huge and there's room for the drivers to keep going? And with this new update that's actually bringing the safety car out a lot more frequently, it's kind of hard to say, because in D3 there was an incident between 2 D2 drivers where they actually made contact and came off the road. They didn't spin, but the safety car was brought out for that particular incident. Then there was another incident where someone actually crashed out and was facing the wrong way on the track, and the safety car didn't come out. So I think it's too unpredictable to be able to say what's going to happen, but I do think, as you said,
all those people starting on the softs, if there is a safety car within the first 2 laps, it's going to ruin their race because they're going to have to switch to the hards, I think, and do a single stop all the way to the end. And this 2-stop strategy there is not going to be great for them.
It's not at all. And I agree with you. If the safety car comes out before lap 5, the guys are going to have to think about coming in. They're going to have to change, and they're going to have to change their strategy. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do. It's going to be I think it's going to be a fun race for the viewers today. Maybe not so much for the drivers as it's a long track. But we could see some DRS training as well, as Leica is about to cross the line and start his hot lap, I believe.
She's actually just set his hot lap at 1:30.3. One quick important observation that I've just noticed. So far, Leica is the only driver to not run out of his ERS in their hot lap before the last corner. He still has about 5 or 10% of his ERS left, which helps him pull away out of the final corner and get some extra speed on the final straight. But as I've been watching other drivers, they have been running out before they even get to the final corner, and I think that's somewhere where Leica has, done something very clever here. He's probably turned his ERS down to high somewhere where he doesn't need it in the track, and he's getting that extra little boost at the end.
It is. He's taking his race trim and he's putting it into his quali, which is a very smart thing to do. He's trying to make it where he's doing the same thing in the quali that he's going to do in the race. He's still getting speed. He's not losing anything by turning it down if he's doing it in the right positions. You do it into a turn, you do it on, in the chicane, and then you turn it back up. You're not losing anything, Robot.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to keep going fast. I mean, you turn it back up in the straights, you're not losing any time at all. And I think that's what Leica's doing today. He's going to be very good, and it's going to be very fun to watch and see what he does here.
Yep, and Jan has just crossed the line with a classic Jan time. He always just comes out of nowhere and somehow finishes in the top 3 for quali. But he's just put in a lap on 1 lap old softs that's just 1/10 down from Leica's time. And he also managed to have a tiny bit of ERS left towards the end of the lap. So maybe he's heard, or maybe he's been watching Leica, but he did manage to improve on his time a fair bit there, and he has gone second. So Jan's average quali position is usually around 5th place, and his race finish position average is usually around the same too. But he's already up into second, so we need to see what the other drivers can do to try and combat him there.
Yeah, another guy we haven't talked about today is a T. We gotta know what he's gonna do today. With a little bit of an absence in the middle of the season, he's coming back. He's, the championship is already won. So, what do you think, Robot, as far as his chances today coming in and coming out with a P1?
Well, as you were just saying that, I was just looking for his driver card. I can't quite see it, but let me just see if I can jump to it. Where are you? There it is. So his average quali position is first place for D1. His average race finish position is first as well. So in the races that he's attended, he's qualified first and he's finished first. Now, I'm not exactly sure how many races he's done yet. He does only have 26 points though, so that will probably mean he's only done 1 race in D1. He's done a few more in D3, but if he can, and again, it's kind of hard to say because I don't know how much he's been practicing. He's one of these drivers that just shows up on the weekends and somehow pulls out these amazing times. And if he can do the same thing as he did last season in F1 IR, then he probably has a good shot of winning this race. When he does show up, he performs. When he doesn't, who knows how he does. His performance in D3 is quite consistent too. When he starts at the front, he finishes at the front. When he starts at the back, he manages to make his way up somewhere near the front. So I think he has a good chance, and I think we're going to see a good battle between Stinson, AJ and Izat here. But just as I'm saying that, Izat is on his outlap right now and he is on the medium tyres, so he might be going for a different strategy than the majority of these drivers who have set their time on the softs. And AJ has only set a time on the mediums too. He has put the softs on, but he hasn't left the pit yet, so we need to see if these guys are going to come out on the softs or not. What do you think they'll do?
I think they came out for the softs. They put a lap in. They know the mediums are not bad here at Paul Ricard. They will put you faster than the softs if you do it right. They feel so good coming around France. It's not one of those setups where the medium tires come out and they just feel like crap. You can come out here and you can set a close time to your softs, but I think what the guys are doing is they're just doing their bankers, and they're going to come out and they're going to come out on the mediums and they're going to set their fast lap on the mediums, or they're going to try What they're trying to do is they set their lap on softs just in case they have to start on them. They're going to come out on the mediums, and they're going to try to smash their laps to see if they can start on the mediums.
So I'm just riding on board with Izat now, who is on his hot lap on the medium tyres. He's just coming up to turn 3 now. Brakes probably where you'd want to on the medium tyres. They're not as sticky as the soft, so you have to brake a tiny bit earlier. As he comes through turn 5, he's nice and early on the throttle. I think Izat is one of these controller drivers too, and even though he is a controller driver, he has amazing control over the wheel, and here he comes just fighting through turn 7 there, the rear of the car almost stepping out. He's got his DRS wide open, not got anyone in front of him to benefit from a tow. Let's see where he brakes into turn 8. Probably about 75 meters. Oh, I think that was about 70 meters actually. Takes a little bit of inside at 9 and pulls away there. His car's a bit wide. I don't think he's getting on the throttle as much as he wants, and he has turned his ERS down too. So I think he's actually made a mistake, and he's going all the way back round to set another lap. And I think this will now confirm that he will be starting on the mediums.
Yeah, bad luck there. Just when you see a guy abort like that, running midway through the track, it's good that he still has the ERS though, because that means he can come right back around and start the hot lap again. He doesn't have to build ERS or come back into the pits to reset the ERS.
So Maximus is currently in 2nd, and I think he is on a hot lap too. Let me just check that.
He is, and we've also got 3 drivers that haven't set a time yet.
Yeah, this is interesting. So I'm just going to jump back to Izat right now, because he is starting his lap again. He's got his ERS set to overtake already, and he's just crossed the line now. So let's see how he does in his first sector time. He has got a car in front of him, but I think it's too far ahead to cause him any downforce issues. Doesn't take as much curb into turn 1 as you would on a wheel, but he does manage to get through it quite quickly, and he was on the throttle nice and early through turn 2 there. Brakes at about 60 meters into turn 3, keeps it stuck to the inside at turn 4 there, and you want to be nice and early on the turn and into 5 to make sure you can get that car straight and back on the power as quick as possible. He's a bit hesitant through turn 6, but he absolutely floors it through turn 7. His ERS is set to overtake now, so he is doing ERS management during his hot lap. That's also great to see, as his DRS is wide open, and his speed trap was about 210 miles per hour there. Brakes at about 60 meters a little bit early, takes a bit more curb than last time. That's better to see, but he needs to keep his car to the left here to reduce track distance. Now he's going to go up to 8th place here. His fuel is already into 8th gear, sorry. His fuel is already flashing, so he needs to be careful there, because he did have to do an extra lap. Here he comes into this really long left-hand,
and he
right-hander.
did set the fast
11.
sector 2 time there, Robot. I just wanted to let you know he did set the fast sector 2.
Interesting. So will he get pole on mediums? That would be an impressive result if he can. Max is retired in 2nd on the softs, and he's just coming through turn 14 now. Let's hope he can get his car positioned into turn 15 right. Nice and early on the throttle there. Doesn't even lift completely as he goes through. DRS wide open. He wants to keep his car to the left here, and he crosses the line with... He goes 5th, but he's only half a second off the fastest time on softs.
And he's the top medium guy right now. He's the fastest medium guy.
That is an impressive time. That is a very impressive time. So we've got a Mercedes and a Force India about to cross the line. I think it's Carter. So Carter crosses the line. He's actually going for his hot lap now. I think he might be going for a hot lap now. Stinson's crossed the line in 9th place in the medium, so he was 3/10 down on Izat's medium time, and both of these are really fast
surprising to
controllers.
see from Stinson. Yeah, a little bit low on the board. We'd like to see him a little bit higher.
Oh, Carter's invalidated his lap there.
Abort.
He's invalidated, yeah. He cut the corner at turn 3 there, and it turned red immediately. We've got a Ferrari about to cross the line.
He did have somebody really close behind. Who was that? I believe that was AJ, really close behind Carter.
So we've got Atomic on the soft tyres now, who's just coming through turn 14, who's about to set his his final lap as well. I'm not sure what his middle sector times were, but will he be able to improve from 7th place? Let's hope he can. As he crosses the line, he goes 4th. Wow, just 3/10 off there. And it looks like we've got Vilsek who's coming around. Is that Vilsek? Vilsek's on his out lap right now. I'm not sure how that works, but let's see how
A little
he does.
interesting to see how many guys are on the softs today, Robot.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to see this many guys on the soft. But it changes as you go. We come into the races, we have an idea and we have a strategy in place, and then you see the top 5 guys go softs. Yep. What do?
Exactly.
Do you stay with your strategy, or do you come out with the softs just to try and keep up? I think that's what the guys are doing right now. They saw the top 5 guys go soft. Now they're trying to come through and try to keep pace and try to keep the same strategy as the top 5 guys.
Yep, and AJ on his final lap there, as he crosses the line, the checkered flag, goes fastest with a 1:29.8, just 8,000 slower than faster, than half a second from Leica's time. Now that is an impressive lap. I did not expect anyone to get below the 130s here. I thought the track was cold and that's why these guys weren't breaking it, but no, he has managed to go fastest.
So I did get the weather report here, Robot. We are going to have a dry quali and a dry race. That's going to be a good race. We're going to have an even more, maybe not. The guys have been worried about the weather here lately. It's not going to be there. The guys are not going to be stressed out. We're going to see a good race from everybody. Maybe still a little bit, bored, not seeing a lot of action, but I think the viewers are going to get enough if we can get the right views here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.